that would have gotten the job done. So it stings a little bit, but ultimately I thought we gave it a really good run, and there was some phenomenal golf played by those three guys.
You know, when you consider the strat, because we all golf here. Everybody stood over a 3-footer that's actually meant something, whether you're buying dinner or whether you're playing for bragging rights. Can you imagine the stress on these guys in the Open Championship, 144th edition? There are names on that thing that go back 144 years. There are millions upon hundreds of millions of people probably watching, and it matters to the tune of $2 million. And a kid like Jordan Spieth, who was so gracious into it. This is why golf is such a beautiful game too, and I don't think people realize that. Is you got to have nerves of steel, be an incredible athlete, and C, be gracious and humble in defeat, which Jordan Spieth was. He said, "Hey, I'm not going to let it eat me up. I already won a couple of majors and 5 tournaments this year. What's there to be upset about?"
And Zach Johnson, who missed a chance to get to the playoff at the John Deere, finally made good at the British Open, and he said after his round that right before the playoff, Jordan Spieth walked over to him and wished him luck, and hopefully, if he can bring home the clear jug.
Yeah, Brian Pepper.
But you mentioned big moments, and that's still something that's going to continue to haunt Dustin Johnson, right? He was fantastic through first 2 rounds, and then he had the worst score in the final 2 rounds, and also even Leishman, who played terrific. He didn't bogey a hole for 35 holes, and then when it mattered, his first bogey came at 16. He couldn't birdie 18, and then he didn't do anything in the playoffs. So, crunch time, or what does John Givens call it now?
Nut cutting time.
It still matters to some guys more than it does others. Because Leishman was terrific, but yeah, he faded under the stretch at the end. But Zach Johnson, he was the story. With that clutch putt on 18 to win his second major. It was really cool to see him win it. He's one of the shorter players out there. Also coming into the tournament we talked about, it's going to favor the long drivers at St. Andrews. Well, Zach Johnson is one of the shorter players on tour. I mean, there was a par 5 that you had to carry 230, 240 yards. He barely made it, but he was terrific. And now
his short game was awesome. He putted the ball incredibly well. His wedges, his tee to green, he was great. He was accurate. And I think the British Open somehow at times will really favor the more accurate golfer. And I think you saw that in the final round, specifically with Zach Johnson winning, Jordan Spieth being as close as he was, Louis Oosthuizen, who was unbelievably accurate, doesn't hit the ball a ton. And guys like Dustin Johnson, who started to fade, he hit the ball at a load, but he's all over the place, and he shoots 75 in the final round.
You mentioned Louis Oosthuizen, first guy to lose a playoff at Augusta National and St. Andrews. That hurts.
And on the other side, you got Johnson, the only 6th man to win both a Masters and an Open Championship at the old course. The other names on that list: Snead, Nicklaus, Ballesteros, Baldo, and Woods. Pretty good company.
And great for him, too. He gets off that list of only, one-and-done majors. 8 years ago, he did put on the green jacket at Augusta and finally gets it done at the old course yesterday.
And are we underrating his career? Because he's been awesome. This is 2 majors now. He has 12 PGA wins. Only Woods, Mickelson, Singh, Els, Love, and Furyk can claim more wins among active tour players. So we don't really mention it when it comes to the greats, but he's almost on his way to a Hall of Fame career with the numbers he's putting up at his age.
Yeah, 39 years old, which is hard to believe when you're 42. I mean, that's old in the game of golf, right? It really is, and it goes a long way too when you think about a guy who's 39 years old like Zach Johnson, who wins the Open Championship, and then you think of a guy who's as dominant as he was, and again, it goes back to Tiger Woods, where a guy like Tiger Woods, who's also the same age, who is just lost, right? You can really appreciate how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour when you realize guys like Dustin Johnson, who's in his 20s, Jordan Spieth, who's 21, the best golfers in the world. Like, you watch those amateurs who all blew up yesterday, by the way. You watch those amateurs that are that good. All finished, 3 of them finished in the top 20. I mean, it's a young man's game. Golf really is a young man's game now.
Yeah, Tiger Woods now has missed the cut in 3 of his last 4 majors. So,
what was the excuse this time?
Interesting you asked, George. The excuse this time was spin rate.
That sounds plausible. What's that?
The rate at which the ball spins.
And why is he using that as an excuse?